Welcome to episode 353 of the show. Today is one of those out and about episodes because I happen to be out and about. And so I am just going to focus on making today's recording so that I keep the appointment that I have with you guys rather than waiting for when the conditions are optimum to record. So apologies for the generator noise and the traffic and all of that. Anyway, so what do we have to explore today? And that's something tied into this whole idea about know, like, and trust. It's something that I've spoken about a lot on the podcast and people have been exposed to for a lot over on the internet, that people do business with those that they know, like, and trust. And so because of that, we have some people involved in the wedding and the event space, or whatever business you happen to be involved in, whether you're an architect or some sort of business consultant. We assume that because people do business with those that they know, like, and trust, that then the goal is to be likable, and that we should do whatever we can to be as likable as possible, and then our business prospects are going to increase, and trying to grow our business, trying to grow our sales is going to get a lot easier. So that's the central question that I would like to look at today. So do we have to be likable to grow our sales and to grow our business? Now, the answer is slightly nuanced. Of course, it's not going to hurt if you are likable. In fact, it might help if you are likable and you're the life of the party and everyone likes you. So yes, that would help to grow your business. But there are some people, like me for instance, who have the personality of sawdust, and we can be a bit curmudgeon at times. So is that going to be a problem if you're one of those people who is not the life of the party and if you're not absolutely likable? So the gospel that I'm bringing to you today is to say that if you're someone with this kind of personality, you don't have to worry that you are not likable. Because the key thing in business and in sales is not that you are likable per se, but that you are able to get along with with the widest array of people and different personalities and different contexts. And that is probably going to explain the reason why there are a bunch of you listening to this podcast right now who know someone, some guy or some girl who you think is an absolutely terrible person, but for some reason they seem to be very good at business. And that's the reason why. It's because they don't have to be likable, they just have to figure out how to get along with the most number of people. Now, from a sales perspective, what is it that we can learn, or what are the tools, tips, and tricks that we can use to get along with the most number of people? The answer is going to be fairly obvious to those of you who've been listening to the podcast for a very long time. If you've been listening to the podcast for a long time now, well, first off, if this is your first time of listening to the show, I'd like to say welcome, and I hope you listen to more episodes. Don't get discouraged that this is one of our more noisier episodes. But once you're done with this, if you skip back to the other recordings, you'll find that usually I find much more quieter and pleasing places to record. So don't be put off by the fact that today's episode is a very noisy episode. Oh, by the way, the reason why it's noisy is because the holidays are upon us again. I have a couple of deliveries that I have to make today, frames that I have done for clients, and I'm with the kids because we have someone over cleaning the house, and of course if I left the kids at home, then it's going to be having the lady who we hired to clean the house to clean. It's just going to be very difficult for her to do her job. So basically I'm with the kids, running all over the place, making deliveries, a couple of other things to do, and so finding a quiet place to record is going to be impossible. So that's the reason why we have all this noise today. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, so if you're a long-time listener, then it's obvious the tool that sales brings to the forefront for getting along with most people. So the number one thing is that it's going to have to be conversational. You're going to have to work with your conversation skills. And of course, the root behind this conversational method is to make sure that you're trying to figure out what everybody wants, what everybody needs, what problem they're trying to solve, what goal they're aiming towards, what vision is it that they are going towards. So that is the key thing about which sales discipline can help with getting along with the most number of people. Because everybody has an angle, everybody has something that they're looking for, everybody has some drive that they're trying to fulfill or some vision that they're trying to move towards. And then if you're able to figure that out in your daily interactions with potential customers or different stakeholders in your business, then you're going to get along with everybody, because you're going to know what's important to them, how to achieve it, and you're also going to be able to figure out if there is any alignment between what it is that they're searching for and what it is that you are also searching for in the business. And so this is the key with getting along with the widest variety of people and in different contexts. It's just being able to figure out what's important to them, of course knowing what it is that is important to you, and figuring out if there's a nexus, if there's a meeting point or a connection between all these different interests that we have over here. So that is the key. So don't worry if your personality is absolutely foul. So long as you can get along with the most number of people, then you should do fine in business. But of course, if you have a foul personality, I'd like to say that just from a purely human perspective, getting along with your spouse, your friends, your parents, your siblings, your kids, it would help if you do some work on your personality and your overall, emotional state of being, or your outlook on life. So yes, it would help to put that in order. But assuming that you're not there yet and you're not perfect, then don't worry. You don't have to be Mr. Perfect. You don't have to be Mrs. Perfect. You don't have to be Mrs. Congeniality. You don't have to be Mr. Likeable. All you have to do is to be able to figure out what makes people tick, what are they looking for, where are they heading to, and see if there's a nexus between what you want and what it is that they want. And if you're able to make that connection, then you'll be absolutely fine in business and in trying to grow your sales. Now, if these kinds of topics are interesting to you, then remember to subscribe so that whenever other episodes drop, you get to see all the good stuff that we talk about over here on the podcast. So thank you very much for listening to today's episode. I am your host, Abuja-based sales consultant and event media professional, Tavishima Ayede. Thank you very much for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording, and hopefully it shouldn't be as noisy as today's one. So, I hope you guys all have fun. And for those of you who have kids and are in the holiday season as well, try to make the best of it, because time flies very quickly. Today they're kids, and then tomorrow they'll be adults, and then we'll wonder, where did all this time go, and how can I fix my relationship with the kids? So this is the time when we should be making the best of our relationship with our children. So y'all have a wonderful day. I'll catch you at the next recording.